Kathy.
Yes, Kathy, I've been here for 7 months now, and I have had to run around every bit of it. Obviously, all of you work together. Obviously, you do work very closely with tcchc.
I
Obviously,
work for
Dr. Danelle Bogg
TFCC,
also
yes.
works with. I don't need you to
They
stop and interrupt me.
contact me.
I'm explaining to you that it is a felony to keep running me around in circles like this. Your entire county has done this for 7 months. This is not acceptable. This puts me at risk and it puts others at risk. Why would you put other people at risk and myself at risk just because you don't want to do your job? Why have I been sent around for 7 months to all of these services just to be sent around to turn in the very people that I need to turn into you guys yourselves? I shouldn't have to turn in the incident on the 28th of January to you, and I shouldn't still be running around after all this time trying to turn it in.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it's taking so long for you to turn it in. And I can tell you're really frustrated, and I wish there was something I could do to help.
I doubt that. I mean, you guys could have helped at the very beginning when I first got here. These are federal programs that are supposed to assist people like me. And they're not going to do their jobs because none of you guys are doing your jobs. All of you are taking your cut of the government money. You're taking your cut of our taxes. You're taking your cut of our Medicare and Medicaid money. But I keep getting rescheduled at TFCC for things that I'm not sent to TFCC for. The first time I spoke to them when I first got here was about abuse.
So, sir, are you someplace safe right now?
I'm never anywhere safe, but that's because of you guys, not because of me.
Do you, is there anything I can do for you right now?
Yeah, you can get somebody from another jurisdiction to get a hold of me and actually listen. I'm tired of trying to turn you guys into you guys because I just end up getting talked over and talked around in circles.
Well, on Monday, I can see what I can do and give you a call back.
Well, that leaves me stuck here for another weekend. I've been doing this for 7 months.
It is the best I can do, actually, Tuesday.
Do you understand this is exactly what pushes people to commit suicide? It's not that they want to die, it's that they need help. And instead of getting help, they're blown off for literally years. It's been over 6 years since this BS first started all the way back in Virginia. So, I mean, here's the thing. I've been going to every mandated reporter, having to deal with sexist crap out of every single one of you. I get that most of the services are run by women. I get that most of the people who go to your services are women. I get that most of the people that the police help are women. But the fact is, there are lots of men out here who are being abused by the police and by your services. We are not sent to your services to be abused. We are sent to your services for the same reason as those women.
Well, and unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to help you until Tuesday. On Tuesday, the various agencies are open, and we can give you a call back and see if there's, and I can have a man call you back. We have 2 male people, and so I can have a man call you back and see about how they can help you.
Ma'am, I've been to TFCC on multiple occasions, and I've been to the police on multiple occasions. I've been to the hospital to turn them in. I should not be being sent to the hospital to turn the hospital in, the police into the police, turn the TFCC into TFCC. This is not how it's supposed to work. You guys are supposed to work together to help the victims, not work together to all profit off of victimizing the victim.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but that's the best I can do for you. Is I can have the agencies, the various agencies are open on Tuesday. And so I can ask to have one of my male co-workers give you a call and see if there's some agency that we can help you.
I spoke with a male just day before yesterday. I spoke with a male, I believe, yesterday as well.
Well,
I also spoke with 2 ladies there at TFCC within the last couple of days, as well as a very rude receptionist. And I've also had to make multiple calls to these places for 7 months. Do you not get that it's been 7 months? For 7 months, I've been blown off until Friday, and then Friday somebody says they're gonna do something, and then I got to get stuck out here all weekend again. I've been harassed almost nonstop since I got here, or I'm stuck in my car.
Yeah. I agree that we just don't have the services that I wish we did.
You have many services. You have a lot of services. You know what? It isn't even housing that was needed to begin with. All right? I was ripped off of my housing. I had housing. What I need is a safe place to write police reports. That's not even that difficult. All these different agencies have a room where I can sit down in them. But no, I can't use that room unless there's somebody in there talking at me the whole time.
Well, sir, you can use the library. That's a safe place.
No, I can't. It is not a safe place.
Okay. Well, they also have a study room there.
I'm aware. I use the study rooms when I'm capable. That doesn't make it a safe place.
Well,
that's the thing about having to deal with somebody who's got disabilities. My disabilities don't magically disappear because you want to make suggestions. Everybody makes the same suggestions. None of them follow the law.
Sir?
Well, ma'am, for starters, I have Asperger's, but I also have issues with my back. I have issues in my lumbar vertebrae, as well as between the T10 and T11 vertebrae. And I also have cervical issues. I also have issues with my wrists and my knees. And, of course, that all comes from a lot of abuse, a whole lifetime of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, if the library isn't a safe place, then I have to say I don't think there is any safe place.
That's the point of me, ma'am. You guys all have offices that are supposed to be set aside for that. All of you are given money specifically for the jobs that you're not doing.
Sir, we do not have money set aside for you for an office where you can just come and sit and do paperwork. We don't.
That's the thing about the Americans with Disabilities Act, is that I'm being denied access to the resources that I need to defend myself over and over and over again. I'm denied access to the resources needed to turn in my predators over and over and over again. And all of you are profiting off of this, every one of you. The police, TFCC, tcchc.
Well, I don't know how to help you because I don't know what you want, other than a room to write reports. And the library is really the only facility that's set up for that.
The library is not set up for that. I've already been to the library. It is not set up for that, and it is certainly not set up for my disabilities. Would you tell somebody who can't push their wheelchair up a flight of stairs, would you tell them, well, you know, the only place set up for you to do that is up those stairs. You got to get to the stair yourself.
So you can take the elevator up.
Ma'am, you're entirely missing the point. You are talking over me and not understanding my disabilities. I do have disabilities that do prevent me from being able to walk into the library with all that stuff and do what I need to do. There's also the fact that I'm not going to get heard because I'm autistic. I will be talked over and treated like I'm retarded.
Well, if you just need I thought you needed some place to write, and that's a place where you can do that.
It's not just to write. I have a bunch of evidence that I've been trouncing around the country with for years. Mm-hmm. This abuse is nonstop. Every one of you agencies does this. From Hood River to the Dalles to here to Portland. All you do is rape people. That's all you do. This is worse than rape. I know I've been raped. 6 years of this just because I don't have the right pocketbook. I don't have real help in person. I run around to you guys because everybody tells me I'm supposed to go to all these different services that are supposed to help. Why are you guys getting paid all this money not to help? Why have I talked to over 40 mandated reporters in this town and none of them have done their jobs?
I don't have an answer for you. The best I can do is I have a coworker who has done some work with different housing options in the Portland area. And so I
All right, you need to stop redirecting me to housing. I came to all of you when I first came to town because you're supposed to be mandated reporters, and you keep pushing housing like it's crack. I went through this in Nebraska too. This is a stall tactic, and it's not okay.
Okay, sir, I'm going to hang up now.
I'm hanging up first. What a fucking stupid cunt. Jesus goddamn motherfucking Christ. Like sending Jews to Hitler about the SS. That's the problem with putting retarded people in positions of power. These aren't disabled people. These are actual retarded people. They're slow. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. Now who do I fucking call next? Huh? Who do I call next? All these places do. All they do is fucking blow you off. This is why you need a friend or family member. So what do we do with these Nazi pieces of shit? Well, let's make sure their number's up for God and everybody to see. 971-341-1760. Again, 971-341-1760. Fucking pieces of shit. All they do is fucking talk over me. Let's call this dumb cunt again.
Hi, you've reached Kathy Science at tfcc. I work on Thursday from 8 to 5, and then Friday from 5 p.m. until Sunday, 9 a.m. If you've called outside these hours, please call 503-842-8201 and ask for crisis. and they will have someone return your call. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
I got a lot of crimes I got to turn in committed by you people. It's pathetic I have to turn it into you people, even though it's illegal for you to be sending me to yourselves and to your friends. Fucking idiots! Just because somebody fucking talks nice doesn't mean that they give a holy fuck about you. See, all these people do is fucking procrastinate. Oh, we only have an hour. Well, I don't give a shit how much time you have. You're going to make a lot more time. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it.
Hi, you have reached Kathy Science at TFCC. I work on Thursdays from 8 to 5, and then Friday from 5 p.m. until Sunday, 9 a.m. If you've called outside these hours, please call 503-842-8201 and ask for crisis, and they will have someone return your call. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
You and your coworkers have created a safety issue for me for the last 7 months of playing retarded. It doesn't take 7 months for you to do your goddamn jobs, you pieces of shit!
If you're satisfied.
Fucking pieces of shit. Let's call 988. Those fucking pieces of shit love me.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
What a bunch of useless fucking goddamn pieces of shit.
Your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Hi, thank you for calling Lifeline. My name is Jules. How can I support you today?
Well, you haven't been supportive yet, but I've been trying to turn in crimes committed against me for 6 years. Why am I being sent around in circles? Why am I being sent to the people that I'm trying to turn them into themselves? All of the people in this town, they work together. They're protecting their coworkers, and that's illegal, especially at the expense of a disabled person. Now, what are you doing? You know, there's a big...
Who are you referring to?
Well, first of all, I'm referring to the number 988, but I'm also referring to Kathy from TFCC, as well as the local police department. Matter of fact, most of TFCC, all they're doing is committing Medicare and Medicaid fraud. I came to them about abuse against an at-risk adult, that adult being me, when I first got here. I've gone to the police. I've seen the police commit crimes in front of me. I have recorded them committing crimes. I have recorded TFCC committing crimes and tcchc committing crimes, as well as the, the Health and Human Services Office, as well as what's the one right next to it? The Northwest Senior and Disabilities Office. I've called everybody. They send me around in circles. Meanwhile, all these people are friends with each other. So how's that supposed to work out? How am I, as a disabled and at-risk adult, supposed to turn in people who are profiting off of me being disabled and denying me my rights as a disabled person while profiting from it, just because they don't want their friends to get in trouble and they don't want to get in trouble themselves? Now, as far as me being able to turn in this stuff, I am stuck in a state of crisis. I can barely communicate. There's a big difference between someone trying to kill themselves and someone being pushed to commit suicide by a whole bunch of idiots who won't do their jobs. What they should have done when I first got here and first encountered these problems is give me a friggin' case worker so that I can finally put a stop to the abuse. But no, it's been 7 months of it going round and round in circles where I spend literally every penny that I have of my disability money running around to these services for them to do nothing.
Yeah, that's obviously very, very frustrating for you, correct?
No, it's more than just frustrating. You know what? Being afraid to go to the police because they will commit felonies is pretty much, well, that's a lot more than frustrating. That is literally what pushes people to commit suicide. It's not the abuse. It's when we go to the first people that we're supposed to. We're supposed to ask our abusers to stop. That doesn't work. That gets us bullied and ostracized by them and their friends. Then we're supposed to go to our friends and family for help. But I have a penis. So, of course, I don't get the same benefits that a woman gets just from saying, oh, poor me, poor me. So it doesn't matter how much evidence I have nowhere to take that evidence that is safe for me to even process it. I've had the same issue since I left Virginia. People have been committing crimes against me, and all I can do is get talked over every time I try to get help. Or I get blown off and told it's someone else's job that I've already been to that's told me it's someone else's job. I've been here for 7 months. It is not nobody's job.
Right.
I am prevented.
It's a lot. Seems like a... What was that?
I am prevented from getting established anywhere because by the time people get off their butts, I've already been victimized until I have to leave town. All right, I've been here for 7 months. I am stuck with one parking lot that it's illegal for me to even stay in. That's all I have. This is all I have. I have my car that I eat up every bit of my money trying to jump through hoops to make you people happy. I'm disabled. I can't take care of myself. Why am I wasting all my money to go to places that are doing nothing? None of these places are helping me, and all of them are profiting off of me. All of them are having me come back for more and more appointments. They're supposed to help me to turn it in right away. Not take advantage of my disabilities.
Yeah, it definitely should be quicker and easier, right?
Ma'am, it is quicker and easier when they do their jobs.
Exactly. It should be that way, but they're not doing it that way.
And that's the problem, is that no matter what, the mentally ill tag is used to harm me. The fact that I'm a male is used to harm me. The fact that I'm homeless is used to harm me. Meanwhile, I'm not mentally ill. I have autism. It's different. It's not the same as being mentally retarded. Instead of them trying to accommodate my disabilities, I get talked over. If somebody's got to go up a flight of stairs and they're in a wheelchair and they say, hey, I need some help, I need to get up them stairs, saying, oh, well, I don't like going upstairs either. That doesn't help them. Or saying, oh, well, don't you have any friends? No, I don't. If I had friends that would help me with this, I wouldn't have to ask. When you're sent to somebody who's supposed to help you with that because you're disabled, and they're literally blowing off your disabilities and talking over you and setting you up for appointment after appointment, but you're still stuck out here homeless, that is not okay. It's not okay to victimize people until they're homeless. I had a place. What I didn't have was support.
Yeah, you were let down.
And I'm still let down. My rights as a disabled person and my rights as an American citizen are supposed to overlap. But they don't overlap. My rights as an American citizen are denied because of the mentally ill tag. But my rights as a disabled person are denied because I'm intelligent. This is not okay. That Kathy lady that started and initiated that whole assault sequence at the hospital on January 28th. She's the one who's the on-call worker for me to call all over the situations with tcchc. Meanwhile, she works for tfcc, so tfcc is the on-call people, or the weekend on-call people for tcchc. Meanwhile, nothing got done this week except me running around wasting resources. I am tired of this. I am a human being. $800 is not enough to live on anywhere in the United States. Repeatedly being told that I need to move is not okay. Someone needs to actually sit down with me and take the time that it's going to take to listen, not rush me that they only have 15 minutes.
Right, and were any APS reports made to help you?
No. No, they haven't been. I have to provide myself with a magic place that I can't carry my evidence. I can't carry it every single day in and out of the library for 3 hours. I can't do that. If I carry it in and out of the library, it takes me 2 days to recover from doing that. I can't do it. I can't do it. I had housing. I should have had help when I was in housing. It's not my fault that the agencies that were supposed to do that job didn't. And someone is supposed to assist me with this. I can't defend myself.
Right, and it's so much going on right now, and I just want to check in with you. You know, like everything that's been so disappointing and just letting you down lately. Have you been having any thoughts of harming yourself or any thoughts of suicide?
You know what? Shove those questions up to your ass. This is not okay. It is not okay to keep shoving it to that point, because that is what pushes people to suicide.
I encourage you to call back tomorrow.
Go fuck yourself. What a fucking piece of shit.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. For calling the Lifeline, my name is Ian. Can I get your name and your phone number in case you get disconnected?
Do what?
Can I get your name and phone number in case you get disconnected?
I don't know my phone number yet, and reading it back to me won't do any good because I can't really verify if it's my number or not. My name is Sean Schwartz.
What's going on tonight?
Well, ma'am, I've been given the runaround since I got to this state. It's the same thing nationwide. I'm a disabled and at-risk adult who was forced into homelessness because of crimes I didn't commit. Other people are sitting in prison for those crimes. It's time for people to stop robbing me of my resources, to stop taking advantage of me for being disabled, and actually follow the law when it comes to disabled people. The sexism from the police towards homeless people, especially men. See, that's what makes it sexist. 96% of those killed by police are men. There are all sorts of services for women, but us men out here, we're victimized extra just because we exist as men. I've been run around to every service here, all of them knowing that I'm trying to turn in the other services here, and then they want to force me to work with the services I've got to turn in order to turn themselves in. But then everybody wants to change the subject and make it about housing. They won't listen to me about the situation with housing. They just want to talk over me. When I'm trying to turn in crimes that are committed against me, it is immoral to dismiss me outright just because I'm homeless. It is immoral for the police to pawn me off on these mental health agencies who won't do their jobs. None of them do their jobs. So why is it that you guys spend so much time trying to push victims to commit suicide?
I'm wondering, what would be helpful for you tonight and all of this?
I can't hear you. I can't
Can you hear me
hear.
now?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just asking what would be helpful for you tonight. I know it sounds like this has been pretty painful.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's really unpleasant about 988 is that you guys aren't really helpful. I've been speaking out about that on my YouTube channel for a few years now. Calling 988 or calling the suicide hotline are two quick routes right into the grave. Because at the end of the day, all you're actually going to care about, no matter what I tell you, no matter what I try to explain, it's going to be, at the end of the 15 minutes, it's going to be, well, are you having any thoughts of suicide or harming others? You don't care who harms me. That's never a concern.
What led you to give us a call tonight?
Well, that would be the fact that I'm having to turn in my predators literally to those predators by name at this point.
Having to turn them into the police, or?
Well, the police are some of the services here. The police have already committed felonies. That's the problem, is that because I'm disabled and I have to go in alone, my rights are completely walked over. Every single time. The fact that every one of these agencies has been making a profit off of me since I got here, but none of them have assisted me, is pretty screwed up.
Sounds like that would be really frustrating.
Yes, and you guys always say that. See, this is not the first time I've called you guys. It's inappropriate for you guys to be improperly trained the way that you are. Your improper training frustrates the victims and leads to them committing suicide. Your, well, are you trying to hurt yourself or others BS results in people who really need help because they're being harmed by actual predators, but instead of you focusing on those predators, you focus on what it takes to lock them up and deprive them of their voice. Once you lock somebody up like that on suicide watch or suicidal ideations, anyone can literally rape them after that and get away with it and say they're mentally ill. Did you know that?
We can have a respectful conversation and talk about what
I can't hear you.
I said, we can have a respectful conversation and talk about what would be helpful for you tonight to ensure that you're able to have some comfort tonight.
Well, there's no such thing as comfort, ma'am. I've been separated from my friends and family for 6 years because cops and caseworkers don't do their jobs. I haven't had an actual caseworker, not through any of this. What I've had is people who send me around in circles to send me around in more circles. I need a safe place to go with my evidence where my disabilities aren't going to be ignored or talked over or dismissed. And that's what every single one of these places is doing, and it is felonious. Do what?
I said, well, I know that you probably have tried, to go several places to talk about, what's been going on, but, is there anybody you feel like you're able to reach out to and talk to about these things that, would be helpful?
Oh, see, that's one of the things about having a situation where your best friend ends up getting her brains blown out and it's all over the news. No, I have no friends or family. I never did. I just didn't realize that I didn't have any friends or family until my best friend got her brains blown out and nobody cared. They wanted to tell me how to think and feel and talk over me and tell me to go to all these places by myself or tell me not to try. Do you have any idea how many times I have had crimes committed against me in this town? And most of them are from law enforcement, from tcchc and tfcc. The Northwest Office for the Senior and Disabled, and the Department of Health and Human Services. Like, all of them are profiting. None of them are doing their jobs. What is Tina Kotek wasting our money on these idiots for? Tonight I had to talk to a lady. She's the crisis line operator tonight. But on January 28th, when I was assaulted over her trying to push that, are you trying to hurt yourself or other stuff? Yeah, that resulted in me being assaulted at the hospital. And then I have to try to turn her into her because nobody else in town will take it. Meanwhile, that's the crisis line that I got to call tonight because nobody did anything this week to help me. Instead, it was the intimidation and the stupidity starting right away on Monday.
You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions.
All right, she decided to fucking fast forward to the end of it where she pretends I don't exist. So let's fucking try it again. Jesus goddamn Christ, these people are useless as tits on a fucking board.
Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. For calling the Lifeline, my name's Carla. Can I get your name, county, and confirmation of your phone number in case you get disconnected?
Well, I don't know my phone number, and confirming it won't do any good because I don't know my phone number. I can't confirm it back to you. My name is Sean Schwartz.
Yes. What prompts your call to us today?
The fact that you're one of a great many places that I've been sent that's sending me around in circles and does nothing to help the disabled people. When we're abused and we try to turn in our abuse, we're shoved into the friggin' mental tank. We get sent to the hospital or put in a mental hospital over suicidal ideations, nobody ever bothers to find out why people are suicidal, do they? No, they don't. Usually it's because of abuse. Now, if I kill myself, then my abusers are, of course, held legally responsible for it, or could be. Now, rather than attempting to commit suicide, I try to get help. And instead of getting the help that I need, I get pushed onto the suicide hotline. That's not okay. Now, there's a lady with the tfcc crisis line that I called earlier tonight. She took part in an assault against me on January 28th at the Tillamook Hospital. And although I tried to turn it into the police, they just talk over me and ignore my disabilities. I'm stuck in a state of crisis. Instead of abusing me for profit because I'm in a state of crisis, these places are supposed to help. It's not acceptable that they're covering for their coworkers and friends. And it is that kind of dynamic here. Now that Catherine lady, I think it's Catherine Suez. Although I don't know it, I don't know 100% that that's her name because I'm horrible with names. And that's one of the issues with me having disabilities and having all this stuff that I'm incapable of doing. Nobody stops to consider why I have no resources. I have no resources because law enforcement ripped me off over and over again. That's what happens when you tell on law enforcement who commits felonies and gets your friends killed.
Yeah, so Sean, I just want to know, are you having thoughts of suicide right now?
Ma'am, that's a trick question and you know it. See, that's the thing, is that I'm having to try to turn in abuse against me while people are trying to abuse me with questions like that.
Yes.
What that results in is the victim being harmed. It makes the victim feel horrible. It makes them feel grilled, and that's what you're doing is you're grilling me. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. You don't care about that. You just want me to answer those questions. Do you stop to consider how much risk that puts the victims at? When they're telling you they're predators or police officers and the local health agencies and they're all ripping us off? That when we're abused, we have to be afraid to turn it in? That we don't have a place where we can safely sit down and write that stuff down or go through evidence? Natalie Bollinger was suicidal. Natalie Bollinger was suicidal.
It sounds like you.
I can't hear you.
What was that?
I said I can't hear you, but really I need you to stop interrupting and listen. Natalie Bollinger was suicidal. She was suicidal over her friends and her family making her life Hades. Well, they did the same thing to me. And for a whole year, her friends played head games with her and me, and both of us begged people to kill us. I begged for over a year for people to kill me because nobody cared. Because everybody that I went to when I was harmed treated me the way that your services do. I get sent around in circles like I'm not a person. I'm tired of being abused. I'm tired of having to move. I'm autistic. It is not okay to force me to move all the time. I cannot take care of myself. That is not a choice. And it's not okay for people to continue to harm me over it. It's not okay for me to have to turn in that Catherine lady to herself. It's not okay that I have to call up crisis lines where there's people that work for them that should be in prison. Before Natalie was killed, I had to deal with a bunch of tweakers making my life hell, and there was no way to get away from them. I drove 1,700 miles to get away from Natalie and her sister. I went home to Boulder, Colorado, but the telephone was faster than my driving skills. I was assaulted my first day back. All over Matty Boa. Meanwhile, I didn't ask to be born a male. I didn't ask to be born into a poor family who didn't care about their kids. I didn't ask to be raised in the system, being beaten and being raped. Now, the treatment that I've gotten nationwide, it's far worse than rape. And I know that from experience. At least when a rapist is done with me, he leaves. Now, I haven't been raped since I was 13 years old. But I have no teeth. My physical disabilities make it so that I'm incapable of taking care of myself, defending myself, or even carrying things all over the place where I'm expected to go. I have to walk into these places by myself without my evidence, despite the fact that it's in my vehicle. I live in inhumane, nasty conditions, not because I'm a nasty person, but because I literally cannot take care of myself. A lot of police officers committed felonies when Natalie got her brains blown out because they wanted it to be an easy railroading. They thought for sure that I had killed her. Not a chance in hell. Now, people keep threatening to kill my friends and family and have been since before Natalie was killed. I've gone to every agency that I can for all of them to make a profit off of doing nothing. Meanwhile, you need to know that when somebody is suicidal, there is always a reason. The solution is to do something about that reason, not to lock up the victim on suicidal ideations, because that gives them the mentally ill tag, and for the rest of their life, anybody can rape them and get away with it. Say, oh, well, she's mentally ill, or he's mentally ill, or they're mentally ill, whatever is politically correct. I don't have any friends or family members. I have no social interaction of the positive kind. And I've been run out of every place in town because cops won't do their jobs. When I am harmed, I can't turn it in. Even if I try, I'm harmed. If I call 911, I get talked over. Now, it didn't start off with an issue with the police. It started off with an issue with stalkers. And I still have issues with those stalkers. I had several of them harass me today. On some days, in just one of my videos on YouTube, those people called me over 200 times in just one video. I'm forced to record this stuff for my safety because all these agencies do is send us in circles. I don't explain things very well because there's too much to explain in 15 minutes. I know that after 15 minutes, you guys kind of sort of get in a bit of trouble, don't you?
No, but sorry about that. No, I thank you for sharing what's been going on. That's a lot that you're going through, and that's a lot that you've been through. And if you're not comfortable with answering the questions, that's understandable as well. You've been through a lot. I'm wondering, what if you are, have a plan for the rest of this evening or this morning and into the day. Do you have any plans? Anything planned for the day?
Yeah, make calls until I'm heard, but it's the weekend. During the week, I get blown off and blown around until Friday when I'm given a crisis line number. What I need to do is turn in the crimes against me, but I need to be able to do so safely, which is part of the reason I'm calling you guys. You're supposed to be a crisis line as well. But when the only crisis you care about is if
Yeah, so
people...
we definitely,
Go ahead.
yeah, we definitely support you during this time. While we don't offer solutions, we can definitely support you, you know, during this time when things are really overwhelming.
Well,
You know,
I have the
and,
solutions. The
encourage you
solutions
to,
are for me to get heard. You know, offering solutions, I already know what the solutions are. The problem is that nobody's following the guidelines for those solutions, and that has created a major safety issue for me. Now, instead of those safety issues being rectified, it's a bunch of people who really are untrained running all of this stuff, or they are professionals and they're just breaking the law. Now, it's either they're untrained or they are trained and they're doing it intentionally. But in either case, they're breaking the law. And that goes for 988 as well.
yeah, so it's sounding like you have a legal issue and that you would need some legal support, but, you know, we don't do that here. So
That's right. You take advantage of at-risk adults. That's the problem. That's the problem with getting a lawyer, is that I'm an at-risk adult. I'm sent to you guys. You guys take advantage of me because I don't have a friend or family member to assist. The lawyers aren't going to pick it up unless I have a friend or family member to assist. Does that make sense?
Oh, well.
That's what the mentally ill tag does. It makes us perpetual victims. There's nothing we can get at.
Yeah, that sounds really difficult. And, you know, again, I want to thank you for sharing that.
God, you guys are masters of blowing us off, aren't you? And changing the subject. Fucking Christ. What a fucking pain in the ass. See, this is why they push us to commit suicide. This is how they push us to commit suicide. Not that it matters, you assholes do the same goddamn thing. Fucking pieces of shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Instead of talking circles around the victim, they need to shut the fuck up and listen. Fucking Christ. See, this right here is where your fucking taxpayer dollars are going. All these people are getting paid, none of them are fucking doing anything. Fuck this goddamn country. There are no good people in it. You get to hear those people? They don't give a shit about me. They don't give a shit about what I'm saying. What they give a shit about is getting paid, same as the rest of you. Sure, you're in customer service, but why do customer service when you can just talk circles around the victim and still get paid? When you can talk over the victim and still get paid? When you can dismiss everything that the victim has to say and still get paid? Why are there so many homeless people? Because none of these services do jack shit. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it.